Boys and girls, today I'll be doing the Defiance of Fate, the Lightning Tyrant with Elena. Missions are no items, evoke carbuncle, no more than 10 limit bursts. Saw Senzar's got his Elena set up, so let's take it out for a spin. Roughly the same kind of team that I took the first time. I'm not using a passive provoke tank, so those of you who can't build like a fully evade passive provoke tank, don't worry, we got you covered. Those of you who don't have Rainbow Whip, don't worry, we got you covered with this clear. We're taking Lid as our breaker instead of Fid this time, mainly because her breaks hit when she applies her breaks. So I put a Necro Dagger and a Lion Saber on her. That's going to help seal fire and dark, wind and earth. So she's got 4 elements covered for us, just hit points and spirit after that. Charlotte's going to be our solo provoke tank for this one. I didn't really fine tune her gear for this. I just kind of threw some stuff on her. 20,000 hit points, 1,000 defense, 1,600 spirit. You could probably go for a little bit less. Ignacio, because we're taking Elena, I like to bring somebody to give her imbues, to imperil for her, etc., etc. And Ignacio can even do buffs, so he's pretty much like a one-hit wonder for this trial. He's going to be doing everything for us. I also gave him, I gave him double cast, and he's got Arc Arcana and the Holy Wand on. So in conjunction with Lid, he's going to also be sealing for the third boss. Depending on how it shakes out, you know, we might do more damage or less damage. We'll have to see. The Arc Arcana staff, for those of you who don't know, can do fire, ice, thunder, and water, and then the Holy Wand obviously does holy. Keep in mind that the Holy Wand is inherently holy, so if we do need to attack with him, that will seal because we're doing holy damage. Folka's going to be our healer for this. I'm still taking Folka because I believe she gives us the best opportunity to regen our mana and get that status immunity that we need. And then this is my Elena, high attack, high magic, got a lot of demon killing on Diablos. Senzar's geared up pretty much the same way. Lots of attack, lots of magic. Let's give it a go. One thing that I have noticed since I've been kind of working on this a little bit more, this first boss, he can really be an asshole. It seems to me, I haven't really looked at the data mine. I do believe I'm right though. He has like a percentage chance to do this dark AoE attack more than one time. And if he decides to power himself up, give himself an attack and magic buff, and then do that dark attack, you're going to be in some deep shit because it hurts if you don't have general mitigation up. And because of how I'm clearing this, how fast I'm going to try to go through it, I won't have general mitigation. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're dying to this, it may not be, you know, strictly your fault. It could just be a little bad luck. So we'll do the cooldown break with Lid. We're going to cover with Charlotte, even though there's nothing we can really magic cover on turn 1, generally speaking. And then with Ignacio, we're going to Crush Stamp, Critical Stamp, Full Burst Stamp. That's going to imperil the boss to fire, and it's going to give him some LB gain, so he can throw out his buffs next turn. And then with Folka, we're just going to get our immunities. And Elena is just going to power up. Aurora Arts, Way of the Aurora. Way of the Aurora. Alright, let's send that off. I don't have a pin, so I can't keep track of how many limit bursts I use. We shouldn't go over 10 though. There's the dark attack I was telling you about. If he decides to like do that a lot, might die. Diabolical Strike, just a single target attack, nothing really major going on there. Alrighty, Ignacio is going to do his double stamp. Or double forge, I'm sorry. He's going to give us a fire imbue and just a general all stat buff. And then with our Elenas, we're going to chain off their limit burst. Go ahead and send that off. Should do some pretty decent damage there. We'll let them do their thing. With Charlotte, we'll do some. What is that? Magic defense. Mine's going blank. We'll heal up with Folka. And with Lid, really we don't have anything to do here. MP recovery is kind of redundant, so we'll do this Downer Bomb creation. It does like a random buff, like it did minus spirit that time. Ethereal Barrier, Event Horizon. This doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. Yeah, you see Event Horizon, Killing Stance, and this Dark Attack. You see, if he does like multiple AoEs after doing the Killing Stance, you're probably going to get killed. We got lucky he only did it one time right there, and you can see it almost took out a bunch of my dudes. Yeah. Let's see here. So he's got like all elemental resist up and all that nonsense. That's no good. Another reason I really like bringing Lid for stuff like this is she can do this jamming pulse. Just going to take all that crap off there, and then with our Elenas, we'll do Speed of Light and then Blade Crystal times 3. Let's get Charlotte to do this LB fill rate buff. I want to go into the next fight with as much, LB as I can. Obviously, Lid and Charlotte's good to go. Really, Folka is too, but, just to be on the safe side, I want to make sure that Folka has enough so she can do her double MP recovery. Then we'll just do a heal. And the other buff is kind of redundant, doesn't really matter. Ignacio has nothing to do this turn. We'll chain this off. Boss goes to 1%. We'll defend old Ignacio. So he's going to do this big MP drain. We're good to go. Alrighty, so on the second boss, if you hit it with 2 different elements, that'll stop him from doing his thing that removes his debuffs. So we're going to break with Lid. Since that hits and she has 4 elements equipped, we're covered there. We'll use Charlotte's Limit Burst to get General Mitigation and Magic Cover online. And then with Folka, we're going to come down here and do double Teardrop. Do a little MP recovery. And then we'll power up our Elena's. I'm not going to use her Limit Burst on the second boss because this boss has, it's pretty weak. And I think our Blade Crystals will be just fine. Let's see, with Ignacio, let's do Strike While the Iron's Hot. Let's get our Imperil, and then we'll do our stat buffs this turn, since we've already got some LB to work off of. That'll set us up really well defensively. So got some dark attacks. Might have some fire attacks in here too. Nothing really bad. Yeah, that Molten Blast, I believe that's fire. As long as you and another thing with Ignacio, his buff also increases your fire resistance too. So I mean, dude's hitting on all cylinders. I can't really protect myself from that status effects, the attack and magic down. So we're just gonna have to live with that. It should be fine. I don't like the fact it's got spirit reduction, but something we're gonna have to live with. Do a little countering with Charlotte. Now this is kind of specific to what I want to do here. Charlotte's hitting with fire. The Elenas are going to be hitting with fire. We need to do something else so we can seal this boss up. And Ignacio, remember earlier on we equipped that holy weapon. We could either hard cast some other element. I'll just go ahead and have him melee just to conserve MP. So he hits with holy right there. And then we're going to have we're going to have Lid use Super Analysis. I know I'm breaking right after I just broke, and it's kind of redundant, but next turn I'm going to have her dispel the boss. So she needs to have an active breakup, or else we'll be in really bad trouble. And then we're just going to do Blade Crystal times 3. Go ahead and send that off. And then Charlotte's going to give us a Dark Resist buff since she's on Anima. I apologize I didn't cover that early in the video. Anima was kind of a new thing for me, so I just forgot about it, to be honest with you. And then Folka can just heal us up. Actually, let's do the other one. Sobering Waters is the disease resist buff. You need to have the disease resist active on all your guys before you finish this boss off. Otherwise, he's going to put a disease on you, and then the third boss is going to put zombie on you. And I'm sure you could probably win that way, but it's not going to put your best foot forward to do that. So he's doing some fire attacks. Nothing really major. You can see right there he buffed his elemental resist. That's what I was really careful to set up Lid a certain way. That way we can do this jamming pulse and remove it and just do tons of damage. You could probably damage straight through that though. I'm not sure. I just know if you do it this way, you're going to do bunches and bunches of damage. Alright, let's go ahead and do jamming pulse. Let's reload our Elenas. We'll send them off. Bunches and bunches of damage. Charlotte. Let's go ahead and use her. Magic resist cooldown. And then Folka's going to top us off. and give us that other resist buff. And then with Ignacio, we're just going to have him punch again. I know I could summon the Esper right here, but remember we got to hit him with 2 different elements to seal him up. So we should just have a lot of fire and dark attacks this turn. Shouldn't be anything like really dangerous. Oh yeah, the MP drain, of course. That's like Gimmy's answer to trial difficulty. Let's just use all the fucking MP drains we can. There's killing stance. Always like, and two, like whenever you're like doing these fights, say I died right there, I saw that the boss did killing stance. That means he got a huge attack and magic buff. So if I would have wiped that turn, I probably could have associated it with that buff right there. Just something else to keep in mind. Alright, let's check out this boss's buffs. He's still got his fire imbue, he's still got his stat break, so we're good to go there. We'll have Folka give us some MP. Do a double teardrop. We'll go ahead and summon Carbuncle. That way we get that Esper kill, or Esper summon credit out of the way. We'll just cast Blade Crystal 1 time to save MP. I like to try to be as efficient as I can with these bosses. And then Charlotte, we'll just go into like full MP recovery. Do this. Heal us up. Same thing with Lid. We'll do the Super Invention. In really good shape going into the third boss. There's the disease that we're immune to. Now, the third boss, because, like, remember the first time I did it with Rainbow Whip, so we're still in, like, all the elements. Everything's good. Like, you don't have to worry. It's a lot harder if you don't have Krala or a Rainbow Whip to steal these sigils. So let's just check out what we got to deal with. All right, and remember, don't go by the colors. Like, pay attention to the debuffs on the actual enemies themselves. They've got lightning equipped. We don't have lightning on Lid, so she's not going to help us seal right there. Ignacio, he does have the thunder, so he can do that. We'll go ahead and power up Elena. And away the Aurora. Make sure I got that over here. Go ahead and use Charlotte's Limit Burst to get that general mitigation up. Then we're going to get status immunity with Folka. That's setting ourselves up pretty good for turn 1. It's unfortunate that we had to use Ignacio. You know, we don't have the Imperil online quite yet, so damage on the boss is going to be a little bit lower. That's why I was saying, like, we have to make certain concessions for stuff like this. But since we sealed the boss up properly, like the damage going out's not really that bad. It looks like we got water and holy. Or double water, it looks like. Alright, let's check these out. Yep, lowers water resist. Lowers water resist. Okay. That's still nothing that Lid can help us out with. Folka might be able to do something about that. Let's see if she's got water in her kit. Can she just nuke? Hey, looky here, Folka can take care of that. Charlotte's going to be in a little bit of dangerous territory. I don't have actual dual cast on Folka. I've got dual white, but not dual casts. That's unfortunate. We'll think about it. Let's go ahead and get these limit bursts ready, because that's what we're going to have to do with her. Oh, baby, looky here. Charlotte's got water. Alright, cool. We'll do it with Charlotte. That's a byproduct of having enemy equipped. We sealed them up right there. That's really nice. Something I didn't really plan on, but it's nice it worked out that way. We'll do a magic damage reduction and a heal. See where we're at right here. So he's got all these resist up. I don't think you can remove that defense and spirit buff. What do we want to do? I can't like dual cast. See, like, oh yeah, I can. Okay. I just want to double check, because normally I've got like strike while the iron is hot. I want to go ahead and do the imbue. I feel like it's more important than an imperil. So we'll double cast that. Because the imbue is also going to give us a stat buff, it'll make it a little bit easier for us to survive. I'm just going to go ahead and use Elena's Limit Burst right here. That's going to set us up for doing damage on, like, you know, turn 2, turn 3. Or turn 3, turn 4. Which, you know, one good round of Elena is enough to really end this boss. You don't really have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and use our cooldown break with Lid. Just so we can save, like, an LB. Oh, Charlotte may die. Oh, it's so close. Is she gonna live? Oh man, she lived with 1,000 hit points. That's so crazy. Good job, Charlotte. We could do a little bit of countering. It looks like they got ice and wind. Let's see, Charlotte can do ice. Lid can do the wind. Kind of want to remove this buff right here. We got plenty of time to think about what we're going to do. I could just seal one and let the other one go, because I really feel like I'm going to win this in two more, like, I doubt we'll kill the boss on this turn, but maybe the next turn. Alright, cool. Let's do Jamming Pulse. Go ahead and remove that. And then Ignacio. Can I do... I want to do that. Can I do the... Whoa. On buttons? I guess we'll do this. Reduce fire, resist. Alright, we got us a good Imperil up. We got our imbues. We use Elena's Limit Burst so we can do good Blade Crystal chaining. Like I said, I think 2 of these Blade Crystals is going to take care of this boss. We've already summoned Carbuncle, so if we do kill the boss right here, we're good to go. So what kind of damage we got? Oh yeah. Okay, 20%. We got Ice and Wind. I've got an Ice Nuke. We'll go ahead and send that off. You know, it's not looking really good for Charlotte this turn, but I think I'm just going to go for it. We'll heal her up. I think our team will be fine. Yep, she's gone. Alright, let's see if the rest of our guys can live. These nukes, like, you know, after you get past, like, the first, like, good round of them, not really that bad. So we don't have to worry about Charlotte's countering this way. Check the boss out. Ooh, no, not good for him. Let's reload these Blade Crystals. Send them off. Dead boss. So, you know, the initial, like, sealing plan that I had with using maybe Lid did not work out at all. It would have been really nice if some of those sigils would have went to her instead of, you know, having to use Charlotte. I could have just defended Charlotte right there. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. I knew Elena had really good damage, so I knew it was just like, you know, all I had to do is survive a few turns and we'd be fine. Go ahead and get Charlotte up for the victory dance. We'll defend Lid, we'll defend Ignacio. You don't have to steal these guys, they do just kill themselves after the boss dies, so little tip there. It's not too bad. We got that boss in 4 turns. It could have been 3 if Lid could have sealed instead of Ignacio. You know, we could have got set up a little bit quicker because we didn't have that that Imperil also ready. for Elena's to chain with. You know, we did a little bit less damage on the boss, but you know, overall wasn't a big deal. I definitely think you don't want to hang around too much in that phase, but luckily that boss isn't the strongest. I do think the first boss is probably the most tanky. The second boss, as long as you can get a couple elements on it and keep it from dispelling itself, you should be fine there. It's made of paper, it's not really that hard. And really, I know the third boss killed Charlotte, but we did not seal both ads, and that's why Charlotte died. Ideally, we wouldn't be using Charlotte to seal, and we would just be we would use her limit burst turn 1, and we would just be defending with her. And you know, her limit burst lasts 4 turns, so we would have been fine if we didn't use her to seal. But you know, we kind of sacrificed Charlotte for the greater good, which is kind of okay because you know she held us up on the last clear. Hope you guys liked the video. Maybe this will help you guys out a little bit. I think I heard Sinzar has a budget clear for this available. If that's the case, if that's a true thing, I will link it in my description because, you know, Sinzar is the man. Always make sure that you're going to his channel. If you're not already subscribed to him, make sure you subscribe to him. He's an awesome dude. But yeah, that's about it for me. We'll be streaming Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to that. Don't know what we'll be doing. Maybe working on one more clear of this trial. I don't know. We'll find something to get into. Have a good rest of the week. Toodaloo.